Brett Allen here. Thanks everybody for watching and listening and being a part of today's conversation. Firefly Lane, say that 10 times fast. Season 2. We have two of the stars here, Roan and Ali. Thank you both for your time today. It's a pleasure to meet both of you.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having us. So nice to meet you.
Well, yes, I'm very excited for the second season. And I just have to say how ironically you both look like your story counterparts. It's very it's cool. I could see that's how casting works. Ali, we'll start with you. How exciting is it for you to have another season out and for people to be able to watch this finally?
So exciting. I think we've all been waiting a long time, so I'm really excited that it's finally here and it's out and people can watch it and the wait is over. I'm very excited. I can't wait to hear what people think.
Well, I've seen a few episodes and you both do fantastically well. Roan, again, to be able to bring these characters back has to be very special because people really fell in love with this the first season. How are you feeling about it? What's the headspace like now that it's going to be available for people to see? I mean, you've been working on this for a while, from what I understand.
Yeah, I mean, we filmed for 9 months or something like that. It's so funny. I feel like once a project ends, and especially knowing that, season 2, part 2 will be the last of the show. It feels quite surreal because, once it ends, you kind of put it in a little box and then it's up to, it belongs to the editors and the sound mixers and the people doing the color and all this different stuff. And so I think it's so crazy now to be like, oh, right. Yeah. People are going to see that because you go in for a little bit ADR or whatever, but aside from that, it's kind of in the hands of a whole other group of people that we don't really see it until like right before. But I feel giddy. I feel so excited that people are gonna see more of it. And I feel like this season we just go even deeper and it's so emotional. Like I cried during every episode, I feel like, and I laughed hard during every episode. And I feel like, yeah, people are gonna get to know Kate and Tully just a little bit better.
Yes. And I think too, especially with the freedom of choice that we have for streaming and being able to watch things, writing, acting, storytelling, content is key, right? Because I think that's what really is going to draw people in and make them go, okay, I'm in for another round. Ali, for you, I mean, having created this character and now being able to tell the story a bit more, what are you hoping or what are your expectations, if you have any? Really, it could be just for people to be entertained, but to get from your character and to learn and to see how they've grown.
I mean, I feel like there's so much that happens this season in both parts, but so much that happens that really there's so many different points that I hope that people get away from it and I hope people learn from. I think specifically with the sexual assault, I hope that that it's covered in a true and as authentic way as possible, and that it can help people feel a little less alone if they're still not ready to talk about things. I think that especially in this first half of the season is one of my main hopes that people can get out of this season and from Tully.
Yeah. How about you, Roan?
Yeah, I mean, I think that for me, like Kate's journey is one of finding herself and growing comfortable in her own skin, which I think is something that, I at that age and even still now can relate to. And I think that we see that journey of her I think now in this season, trying to discern herself from Tully a little bit more and find a little bit more autonomy and come into her own, as opposed to kind of feeling like Tully's sidekick a lot of the time. And so I hope that people feel seen in that sense. I hope that people who maybe feel like they're more of a Kate in the Kate and Tully dynamic can see this beautiful story of this woman who is deeply intelligent and very funny and kind and loyal, discovering where she fits in the world and where her value inherently lies. And I think that that's something that a lot of people will feel really seen in.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderfully said, both of you. Again, having seen just a couple episodes, I think people and the fans are really going to appreciate all of this, even though it seems like it's been eons since you all filmed all of this. One last question for each of you. Ali, all the projects that you've been a part of, is there one character, if there was a character outside of this, that you could revisit or continue the story for? Is there one in particular? Because you've been a part of some really fantastic projects.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Interesting question. I think, oh my goodness. There's a few that I would like to revisit. Um, I did a movie called Breakthrough, um, which was one of my favorite experiences other than Firefly Lane on a set ever. And I loved the story. It was based on a true story. And I was playing a real person who existed in the world and someone who went through a traumatic experience. And I think I would love to be able to portray more of her experience within that story, if I was able to pick something.
Absolutely. Roan, how about you? I mean, you've played a lot of very interesting and diverse characters in your career.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like Kate is kind of the first character like Kate. I feel like I'm usually playing foul-mouthed teenagers, like really brash, foul-mouthed teenagers in some respect or another. I would say for me, it would definitely, I would revisit The Magicians, I think. It was so fun, and like that world of fantasy and kind of them and being a badass, like spell casting, foul-mouthed daughter of a mobster was so fun for me. And that was another role, not unlike Kate, that I felt like I just really slid into. Like it was pretty effortless for me to be like, oh yeah, I get where, and funnily, they are very different. I almost feel like it's like two different sides of me. And yeah, I would revisit that for sure. That was so fun. And I love comedy. And so and I think that show often lives in that comedic realm. So I would revisit.
Yeah. That was a great show, both of those. Fantastic. Roan, Ali, Firefly, Lane, season 2, Netflix. Thank you both for your time. It's a pleasure to meet both of you.
Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you.